I had somebody mention the other day on YouTube the differences between this 62 and the 74. There aren't a whole lot of differences, but there are a few. You can probably tell that the grills are different on the two. That one being the 62 and that one being the 74. A little bit different shape. It's got a different screen. Also, our 74 has a bumper, which is kind of nice, I suppose. Another difference between the 62 and the 74 is 62 has metal emblems and the 74 has decals. And of course, what the decals say is different. McCormick Farmall versus International. Though they're both International Harvester tractors. A few of the other differences are that this one is a 6-volt battery system, which is definitely older style, kind of like the old trucks and the old cars back in the 50s, and, well, back in the 40s actually. Whereas the 74 is normal 12-volt, like a standard car. Also, the 74 is key start, where the 62 is supposed to be a ring that you pull, but somebody converted to a button. You pull that knob out and mash the button. The 62 has a generator instead of the alternator that the 74 has. They look the same, but a little bit different. We've got wheel weights on the back of this one and no weights on that one. And of course this one, you see we have the sweeps on it as well as the rolling cultivators, because this is the one we used in the garden to do all that garden over there. Also, the oil filter on this one is the old paper canister type, where you take the nut off there and it takes this metal cover off here, and there's a paper cartridge inside it. Where the 74 has a standard spin-on filter like you'd see in most cars nowadays. The 74 also has a toolbox under the seat here, and the 62 doesn't. And it's the same seat frame, just a much crappier seat. They both need replacing, but that one's... The muffler is just a thing of preference. There's no muffler involved at all there. And of course we've got one on this one. Too hot. It just slides off. You just lift it off. You can hear the differences in the 12-volt starter versus the 6-volt starter. Let's see if I can take the coil wire off here and just run on the starter. They both have the same lift system. Both of them have the fast attach for single point implements. Let's see. You hear this thing here. You hear that's the 12-volt starter. Take the coil wire off of this one. That's the 6-volt starter. A little bit different. They both have the same engine, same transmission. 21 horsepower, I believe. I've got the fertilizer hopper to both of them. The fertilizer hopper sits right here, and the fertilizer comes out the tubes to go in the ground as you're ridging. Let's make sure this thing will still crank after I hook the coil wire back up. Hope so. While I've got them both running, I'll let you hear that they're both governed different. This 74 has a much lower full throttle RPM. That's full throttle for that one. Come over here to this one. You can see that full throttle is about half throttle on this one. Quite a bit of difference. Also, they both idle a lot different. This is idle for this one. We'll go ahead and shut it off. And this is idle for this one, but it'll run a lot slower. So that's barely running. They both have the same lift controls. I've got my little trailer hitch attached to this one. So I need to swap back over to that one. They both have the same PTO arrangement. Neither one of them set up for the belt pulley. We don't have any PTO driven equipment that'll fit farmalls. Used to, but not anymore. They both have the same oil bath air cleaner. That one over there got bent. Might bent it. The lights don't work on either one of them, but that's just a wiring issue. Of course, to make it a little bit harder to steal, this one, since it's push button starter, we've put some kill switches on there that I'm not going to tell you where they are, and usually I'll take a piece of the wiring home with me just so nobody can steal it. But yeah, if you want to get down to it, that's the differences between the earlier style 140s and the later.